Hey everybody, this is Peter B, and I would like to show you a project I've been working on for the past few years, and that is my buyback Frankenset folder. I like buyback cards. I thought the theory was very neat that some kid pulled out these cards. Could have been traded, could have been sold, but somehow Topps got a hold of them and bought them back, stuck them back into packs, and a second person pulled the card out of the pack. And I just love the infinite number of stories that each particular card could have. You know, maybe like a 5-year-old kid or 10-year-old kid in 1970 and sold his collection when he got older to a dealer, and somehow Topps bought it from the dealer and stuck back in, and maybe a 30-year-old guy pulled it out. I just think it's neat. I love the theory of buybacks. Some people hate them. They say to destroy the cards, but I mean, these aren't too expensive cards. I love them. I did try to collect the whole 1971 Topps action photos because it was the first set that had action photos in buyback form. Now, I haven't seen any of the Hall of Famers. I don't even know if they had them. If they did, they're probably one-of-ones. And I got every non-Hall of Famer except Andy Etchebarren. I lost him at the last minute long time ago on eBay, and I haven't seen one since. So if you have a 1971 Andy Etchebarren buyback card, I'm interested to complete my collection other than Hall of Famers. So let's get to it. These are numbered 1 to 792. I have a checklist at the end, 792, and that's what I decided to go up to. I do have a couple of extra Hall of Famers in the set, and I'll show you them. And sorry I don't have a studio lighting and a nice hard stand to put everything on and get clear focus photos, but best I have. So that's card number 1, Nolan Ryan, Hall of Famer, as everyone knows. And there's another Nolan Ryan at card number 4. Number 2 has 3 Hall of Famers, 3 Boston Bruins, Bobby Orr, Phil Esposito, and Johnny Busick. In the NL Assist Leaders card, I thought that was neat. That's a buyback card. These are all buyback cards. Babe Ruth. Actually bought this in a slab, and I broke it out. Dan Olsage said I shouldn't break it out, but I had to go into my binder. I mean, you have to have a buyback Babe Ruth card in the binder. Hall of Famer Brooks Robinson. Hall of Famer Jim Hunter. These are neat. These are the new Allen and Ginters, Sailor of the Seven Seas. They actually bought them back. See a little buyback right there. And then put this thing around it. And of course, one of my favorite modern day player, Mookie Betts, as a Red Sox. We got Carl Yastrzemski, Eric Davis, and a Captain Crunch. I mean, Captain Crunch deserves to be in your buyback. You're going to see a lot of Red Sox. Tony Gwynn. Batman. There's a Batman buyback. Pretty cool. Oscar Gamble before the fro. Adrian Beltre, one of the newer Hall of Famers. Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe buyback. That's pretty cool. I forget the name of this set. It was from it's the Topps, I think it's called the Scoops, from the 50s. This is about landings in North Africa. Topps did that. Jackie Robinson, he deserves a place in the binder. Nolan Ryan. Bronx Zoo Sparky Lyle. Marty Barrett, he was a hell of a ball player for the Red Sox. Carlton Fisk. Joe DiMaggio. Joe D deserves a spot in the buyback Frankenset binder. Junior. Ripken and Murray. John Travolta in Greece, and that's actually a baseball scene from Greece. This was an Tops American Pie buyback. Gaylord Perry. CC Sabathia, newest Hall of Famer. This is Beverly Hillbillies. That was in the American Pie buybacks. This is a Gaudi card. I forget what company. Upper Deck. Upper Deck actually inserted buyback Gaudi cards. And that came out of a pack of recent Upper Decks. Not recent, but 209. George Brett. Reggie Smith, hell of a player. Here is Bring 'Em Back Alive top set. I believe once again in the 50s. Johnny Bench and newest Hall of Famer Dick Allen. Lou Brock. A football player. Got Johnny Bench, Billy Williams, Tony Perez. Except for they stamped Perez's face. It's a shame. Red Shindice. Jim Palmer. Gibson, Perry, and Jenkins. Oh, and I got to tell you, I had a goal when doing this set. I wanted to get every example from every year that Topps did buybacks. I have an example from 1955. I think 55. I don't know. I'll get there. Up to 2000. I wanted to make sure I had that range covered. I might even have 2000 to the latest buybacks I did. I just didn't pay attention. I wanted to make sure I had that range. I also wanted to get every team that was in existence while Topps was making baseball cards. And I mean, I got the New York Giants and the San Francisco Giants, Brooklyn Dodgers and Los Angeles Dodgers, Kansas City A's, Oakland A's. The only team I don't have, and I'm upset about it, is the Boston Braves. I got the Milwaukee and Atlanta Braves. They had a 1953 Eddie Matthews buyback showing him as a Boston Brave. It went off at eBay late at night. I bid what I thought would be enough to win it. Went to bed, and I lost it like for $5 over. I lost out. So I don't have a Boston Brave example. Maybe someday I will. Anyways, back to the binder. Okay, here's Beauty and the Beast. Here is Aaron Andrews, the Beauty, and Don Mossy, the Beast. Jim Thome, Phil Necro, another Bring 'Em Back Alive. Teddy Ballgame. Dick Williams. Curly O'Neill from the Harlem Globetrotters. Joe Torre. Harmon Killebrew. Frank Robinson. Bob Lemon. Jim Palmer. Vita Blue, hell of a pitcher. Boston favorite Jim Lombard. Fergie Jenkins, Tom Seaver. Here's they were doing MVP buybacks for Topps recently, and here is an Aaron Judge when he got his first MVP, and it's the buyback. Burt Bylevin. And you see I have all the years. Warren Spahn, and that's stamped 101. Arnold Palmer. Bob Gibson checklist. Patriot Andre Tippett. Jim Lombard. Like I said, I have a lot of Red Sox. Davy Lopes, born in Rhode Island. I also have tobacco cards. They did T205 and T206 as buybacks. They also snuck in a T207. So here's an example that came out of a Topps pack of a T207 card. And you can see the back of it. Here's another Gowdy. Ron Santo. Ron Bloomberg, the very first DH. Matt Williams, and this is signed from Score buyback. Here's a T205 buyback. Dick Williams. San Francisco Bridge, I thought it was cool. A signed Louis Tiant buyback. Jason Varitek. Danica Patrick. That was a Dunross buyback, and that's an autograph of Danica Patrick. Fergie. Star Wars, the three top players. Manny. Willie Mays. That's a special 20 years buyback card of Willie Mays. 67 World Series, Rico Petrocelli. I also have a Play Ball. That was a buyback also from Upper Deck. Tom Glavine. Pujols, Helton, Andrew Jones. Bob Gibson on a World Series card, 1969. Frank Robinson. Dick Williams. A lot of Dick Williams. He's a Hall of Famer that wasn't too expensive. Pedro on the recent Advent holiday buyback. Mike Trout. Gotta have Mike Trout. That's another recent holiday buyback. He deserves to be in the folder. Herb Score. The Frisbee Dog. Seaver on a World Series. Well, that's a playoff card. Ty Cobb. Got to have all the greats. Roger Clemens. So, buybacks, just not some no-name common card. I mean, there's some pretty cool, inexpensive Hall of Famer cards that they sent out as a buyback. And that's what makes this collection really nice. Wade Boggs, Boog Powell. One of them is Brooks Robinson. Roberto Alomar. Johnny Busick, Hall of Famer for the Bruins. Dusty Baker, I assume he's a future Hall of Famer. Freddie Patek. Satchel Paige. Now, this isn't a 53 Satchel Paige. It's a, what is it? I forget what it was. It's a reprint card that Topps did in honor of the 53 set, which they bought back, and they stamped this and sent it back out. Not the original, the reprint, but it is a buyback. Oops, sorry about that. Doug Flutie, autograph. I wish I had him on the Patriots. He's on the Buffalo Bills there. Vladimir Guerrero, Tony Lasura, Juan Marshall. See, there's some pretty nice names in buyback form. They're all in this set. Don Baylor, Psycho Steve Lyons, Cecil Cooper was a good player. Yanks crashed the Reds in the World Series final. Eddie Robinson. Eddie Robinson was a good player. He was once the oldest baseball player alive. He did die a couple years ago. But when Babe Ruth went back to Yankee Stadium, Eddie Robinson gave him his baseball bat. And so all the photos you see an old Babe Ruth leaning on the bat, he's using it as a crutch. That's Eddie Robinson's bat. He wrote a book, real good book. Lou Gehrig, Alexander Cartwright, John Schmaltz, Hawk Harrelson, Roger Clemens, Serena Williams. As you see, I also try to get as many sports as possible. Hoyt Wilhelm, Tommy Lasorda, George Scott again, Ellis Burks was a good player, Louis Tiant, Billy Allman. He went to my high school. Not when I was there, way before I was there, but he is a graduate of my high school, and he was the 1974 #1 draft pick by the Padres. Orlando Cepeda. These are the 1971 action photo cards I was talking about. Who we have here? Oil Can Boyd. He's a character. Jim Cat. John Schmaltz again. Dan Marino. Dick Williams. Like I said, a lot of Dick Williams. And even Walt Williams. Peter Gammons. He's a Hall of Famer. Big Poppy. Rooster Rick Burleson. I got Roberto Clemente. Another World Series card. Here's Hoyt Wilhelm, 1956 buyback, and it's autographed. Louis Aparicio. Whitey Ford. Verlander Sabathia. Greg Nettles. Lou Brock. Chipper Jones. Fergie. Here's a T206. Most of them, they put in these little things. But this one, they didn't. And it's stamped 101. George Brett. Ichiro. Newly Hall of Fame. Is that Big Poppy? Yep, another Big Poppy. Fergie Jenkins, traded to the Red Sox. There's a Hartford Whalers card. Let me pause at this point. I liked buyback cards. But Shane at Shoebox Legend is the original person that decided to make a buyback set. 1 through whatever, number 1 through whatever. I really like that idea, and I copied it from Shane. And I know Shane has a fantastic Frankenset buyback binder as well. So Shane gets all the credit of what I'm doing here. I think the cards are fantastic, and I hope maybe after watching this or watching some of Shane's videos, you do too. Pedro, Roy Halladay, Rico, Gary Sheffield. He might be a Hall of Famer. There's one of Dylan's favorite guys, Hideki Matsui, Mickey Cochran, Bruce Bochy. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Lou Brock, the Toy Cannon, Jimmy Wynn, another 1971. Rico, another Big Poppy. Joe Torre. Billy Martin, Jim Thome. Billy Allman again. Bill Lee, the Spaceman. Bill Freehand was a good player. George Brett, my favorite player. Barry Bonds, he deserves a spot in the Frankenset. Matsui again for Dylan. Fernando. Hawk Harrelson. Bob Montgomery, he was a TV announcer for the Red Sox for many, many years. Walter Johnson. Can't have a buyback binder without Walter Johnson. Jeff Conine, Mr. Marlin. Autographed. Checklist, unchecked. 1970. See, these are in the 400s. That's 432. That's 426. Oh, the GOAT, Tom Brady. Have to have Tom Brady in your buyback collection. Totally upgrades the binder by having a Tom Brady. Wilbur Wood, Bruce Sutter. Another 71. Here's that's not here. Bob Lemon, Willie McCovey. Here's a T206 in the little thing they insert them in. Another Rico. I always like that picture, Walt Weiss making a double play. Kurt Bevacqua, he's the bubblegum blowing champion. 1970 something, maybe 76 or something. His card of him blowing a bubblegum. Blue Moon Odom, Mr. Marlin again. Jay Buhner, he was a player. Ernie Banks, and this is a special Let's Play 2 buyback stamp. Ernie Banks. Stan Musial, another 1-of-1 stamp. Jerry Remy, fantastic baseball announcer for the Red Sox. Autographed Jim Rice. Steve Grogan, he was a well-known in Boston area Patriot. He was a fan favorite. Theda Pinson was a good player. Bobby Valentine was a good player. Mike Schmidt. See, if you're going to make a buyback binder, of course you got to pick up a lot of commons to fill a hole. But if you just want to look into buying buyback cards, I mean, you saw some pretty impressive names so far. Hawk Harrelson again, Ellie Hendricks, Bernie Williams, Andy Messerschmidt was a good player, Tommy John, Jim Fregosi, Tommy Hopper was a good player for the Red Sox, another Ted Williams from the, what is it? From the 1970, I think, or 69 set. Goose Scotches, not just rookie card. This guy, I always call him Ed Imbecile. 75 World Series, he was told to bunt, and he did bunt. And the ball bounced right in front of the plate and bounced straight up. Carlton Fisk was behind the plate, and he runs out to get the ball so he can throw the runner out trying to advance. But Ed Imbecile stood there and blocked Fisk from getting the ball. And the umpire did not call interference, so I nicknamed him Ed Imbecile. It's actually Ed Ambrister. Ken Brett, George's brother. This is just an extra page. I should put it in the back. Craig Biggio, Earl Weaver, nice 60. Oh, the other GOAT. You saw Brady, now you're seeing Wayne Gretzky. And you also saw Bobby Orr, and you also saw Gordie Howe. A lot of GOATs in the buyback binder. A cool, this is my newest one. A cool Andrew Benintendi signed. There he is jumping up for the ball near the Green Monster at Fenway. Pedro Bourbon. Tim McCarver. This is a hockey pro set. That's a drawing, like a cartoon drawing of the Boston Gardens. Here's Mark Littell. Chris from Missouri would know him. Another George Brett. Manny B and Manny. Terry Francona, I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Mattingly. The American flag savior, Rick Monday. Amos Otis. Tommy John Otto. Tony Pena was a good player. Bonds. Clemens. These two should be in a Hall of Fame. Mookie Chilson, if you're looking at this, there's Mookie Wilson. Justin Verlander. He should be a Hall of Famer. Randy Johnson. Kirby. Dick Hauser, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame. I know there's an award. David Lopes, Hank Aaron, Johnny Bench, and Stan Musial. Turn back the clock. This is a bench warmer. Oh, what's her name? Cara Monaco. All I know about her is she was in Playboy. I don't think she ever came anything about that. She might have been in a few TV shows or something. I don't know. But it's an autographed buyback bench warmer. Just for that fact and that she's in a baseball setup, I put it into the binder. Jim Lombard, Tommy Harper. See, I got every team. There's the Seattle Pilots. Don Baylor was a good player. There's Marty Barrett again. Craig Biggio. Bob Gritch. See, higher numbers are hard to find and buy back, and they're mostly newer cards because the other cards didn't go this high. Is John Schmaltz. And you get more and more commons to choose from. Although I did find a John Schmaltz. Sean Dunston was a good player. I got a Reggie. It's like card number 700. Darryl Strawberry. Cal Ripken. Dan Quisenberry. Very good player. What do you have? We got Rick Gossage, Raleigh Fingers, Quisenberry. Got a Fergie. These are mostly just filling in for the numbers, though I do got a signed Eckersley. Bo Jackson, he deserves to be in the buyback binder. Harold Baines, Bobby Cox, Hall of Famer. Wade Boggs. This is Terminator 2. There's Arnold. You gotta have Arnold. I'll be back. You have to have Arnold in the binder. Here's a Dontrell Willis signed buyback Crackerjack card. Here's a Roger Maris back card, but it's in buyback form. Willie Wilson. Mike Morgan, in honor of Dan at Old Sarge Collect. That's his uncle. And that's the actual final card, number 792. I don't think you guys can read it, but it is. I also have the same numbers. So I couldn't put them in the actual set because I already had a slot filled, but they're like backups for me. Alex Rodriguez, Johnny Bench, and Stan Musial. Here is my 52 they started. Here's my 52 buyback example. And my 53 buyback example. Both 54 buyback examples. Another 54. 55 buyback examples. I already showed you the 56, plus this year, I believe they still do it. Should be coming out with 56s in this format. But I do have one already. And I was missing 57. I had every year up to 2000, but I didn't have a 57. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then Shane from Shoebox Legend was showing his recent pickups, and he showed a 1957 buyback, a common guy. I passed him in here. And I texted him and said, Shane, I need that card. How much you want me to buy it for? And he ended up giving it to me. So thank you, Shane, making the collection correct, having every year. This is what got me started. I love the 1971 action cards. Like I said, it's the first year Topps did action. And I wanted to complete every action card in the buyback form. And like I said, I have only Joe Torre as a Hall of Famer. There's Joe Morgan, Brooks Robinson, I forget who else, Nolan Ryan. I haven't seen them, and if they did, they're probably 101s. So I got every common player plus Joe Torre, except for Andy Etchebarren. And there's more. And that's it. So that is my buyback Frankenset. I hope I interest you in getting into buybacks. I think they're really neat. I love the unknown history of where did they come from behind it. I know Shane at Shoebox Legends is doing the same thing, and he has a fantastic collection. So, long video. Looks like it's over half an hour. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day. Thank you.